back to the game, 5-2 loss to the Detroit Red Wings. Unfortunately, Alex DeBrink gets the last laugh as on the broadcast. They obviously were ISO cammed on him as the horn went, and he gave his teammates a little kind of smug smile and a head nod. He appreciates that win from the Red Wings, and you know what? They deserve that. They got the win here. The Ottawa Senators weren't able to back up their first period as Korpisalo letting in some bad time goals. Wings power play looks great. So we're going to try to do some Sens Central standouts here. Martian, are you sticking with your previous guy, or you're saying no, there's only one guy worth a standout here? Because we both picked the same guy, but I got to it first this time.
Yeah, I mean, I'll keep it quick, I guess, since I'm sure our producer has the graphic ready. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Jake Sanderson. He scored, and that's about it. Pilsy, like, honestly, I've never done it before, but I'm this close to just omitting my pick for the standout. Like, I just don't want one. No one deserves it. Nobody deserves the love. So, anyways, Jake Sanderson got a nice snipe to lead us off, and he won me $200 with that goal too, because I had two separate bets. First goal scorer, Sanderson, $5 to win 115.
There you go.
And anytime. I put $10 on it, so that one won me another 75. So thank you, Jake. Wish you could have done more for me, buddy, but you're my standout.
Yeah, that's you certainly had a better day at on the sportsbook at FanDuel than I did. The only bet I hit was the over. I think I had about 6 or 7 failed bets on that one, so tough one all around for the guys here. But as you can see, my Sens Central standout is Ridley Gregg. I'm confident in this standout, Martian. I really feel like Ridley Gregg had a great game. He scores that goal at the end. Sure, it's a garbage time goal, but you got to take advantage of those opportunities, and he does that. He has 3 hits, 5 shots on goal. One of those hits being dumping the cat into the corner, and he even had a nice night on the faceoff dot, Martian. 57.14% in the faceoff dot. That's good for 4 for 7. So not a lot of draws, but 4 for 7. He was snapping them back when he had the opportunity.
You love that.
I love it. I love to see the face-off. That's another spot, Martian, where the Ottawa Senators dominated the Red Wings, 61.8% over 38.2. So frustrating when it seems like you're doing all the right things, like the process is looking good, but you're just getting dominated in the scoreboard, and your penalty killers can't stop this potent Detroit Red Wings offense here. But yeah, I really liked Ridley Gregg's game, and these are the kinds of things he has to be doing to be successful and to keep his spot on the team. He's got to be playing hard, physical, but you got to provide offense when you're given the opportunity, and he did that today. So I'm totally fine with having Ridley Gregg as my standout.
Yeah, Ridley's a dog, man. Like,
yeah, he is.
He honestly, nobody hustles as hard as him. Nobody pound for pound, gets as much done in the corners and behind. Like, he just gets away with. When you're watching the game live and you just kind of isolate Ridley Gregg and you watch him, he is mucking it up constantly, and he's in the head of the opponent all the time. His goal is great. It was like, I guess you could call it a breakaway. He got that puck, and everybody was like, oh, and then because it looked like he saved it, and then it just kind of, I guess it trickled in. So yeah, Ridley Gregg deserves all the credit in the world. He's definitely the only player I could consider a true standout for the Sens tonight. Everybody else stunk.
Yeah. Our producer.
I left you speechless.
Basically, there wasn't a lot of other good performances. Drake Matheson, he rang one off the crossbar on one of the power plays. That would have been nice to get, especially that was Ross's Levy lock at FanDuel, was Drake Matheson anytime goal. And Ross Levitan, he's going behind enemy lines here with his Sens Central standout, going Billy Husso. I was stoked when Husso was announced as the starter. His numbers haven't really been that great recently. That's probably a contract that Stevie Y wants back, as it hasn't looked too great for him. He's making, I think, $4.8 million for the next couple of years here. But look, I'm not about to pile on what might be a bad contract and a goalie that's struggled in the past when he's just put up a really great game and gets the 5-2 win for the Red Wings. So yeah, Stick taps to Billy Husso. And I mean, my lookout player was Dylan Larkin. And man, Dylan Larkin had one hell of a game. You got to give stick taps there where it's deserved. Oh, you're muted, Marsh.
Sorry. Yeah, Larkin was great. I mean, he can snipe it, man. He's sneaky. And I think he's happy to have, DeBrincat there too. Those guys are both Michigan guys, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know what kind of, how well they know each other, but there's a different, kind of team vibe going with Detroit than there was last year, I feel like. And I think like the story of the game is that you just kind of got to give Detroit credit. There's a reason they're 4-1, even though their schedule hasn't been necessarily the toughest schedule, but they've won all their games pretty handily, the ones that they've won. So, what it is. I think I want another crack at these bastards.
And we'll get another crack pretty soon here, Martian, as the Sweden trip, I believe, is the next time they play, November 16th at 2 p.m. Eastern. So keep an eye out for that. Yes, that is the next time they play. So that'll be an interesting one. Too bad that game couldn't have been in Germany, though, like with Moritz Seider and then Tim Stützle. Like that's one you got to get in Germany, in my opinion. So maybe in future years that
I think in the future, like, I mean, Ottawa, Detroit, and Edmonton should just go do like a, whatever it is in Germany,
Edmonton too.
Edmonton with Draisaitl, right? Yeah, I think that would get the German fans super fired up, I'm sure. And I bet you Timmy would be playing incredibly in his home country.
Yeah, he would. I mean, even get the Sabres in the mix with JJ Peterka, a good buddy of Tim Stützle. Thanks again to the Red Wings fans that are providing us with engagement. Nice to see you guys here. Appreciate it. Don't get too worried about rent-free comments. We're not too worried about that, or Joe Valeno, just saying. But look, they were able to capitalize when the Sens weren't, and that's one thing I will point out though is last year these games would have been lopsided, and the Sens would have just lost this game easily. But I at least feel like they put it towards a better fight. They know this is an Atlantic Division rival, and they know you want to have a better game at home, especially when you're the only game on at 1 p.m. Probably a lot of other NHL fans are watching this. So disappointing, Martian, is the word you used, and that's pretty accurate.
Yeah. Just a big letdown of a game. Wasn't perfect.